Greetings. This devotion is for the 16th of April, and it comes from Daniel, chapter 10, verses 2 through 12. At that time, I, Daniel, had been mourning for 3 weeks. I had eaten no rich food, no meat or wine, and had entered my mouth, and I had not anointed myself at all for the full 3 weeks. On the 24th day of the first month, as I was standing on the bank of the great river, that is the Tigris, I looked up and saw a man clothed in linen, with a belt of gold from Uphaz around his waist. His body was like beryl, his face like lightning, his eyes like flaming torches, his arms and legs like the gleam of a burnished bronze, and the sound of his words like the roar of the multitude. I, Daniel, alone saw the vision. The people who were with me did not see the vision, though a great trembling fell upon them, and they fled and hid themselves. So I was left alone to see this great vision. My strength left me, and my complexion grew deathly pale, and I retained no strength. Then I heard the sound of his words, and when I heard the sound of his words, I fell into a trance, face to the ground. But then a hand touched me and roused me to my hands and knees. He said to me, Daniel, greatly beloved, pay attention to the words that I am going to speak to you. Stand on your feet, for I have now been sent to you. So while he was speaking this word to me, I stood up trembling. And he said to me, do not fear, Daniel. For from the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before God, your words have been heard, and I have come because of your words. Daniel. This is a unique book, one we don't hear from often, and especially in Old Testament literature. Daniel, in some ways, is kind of like Revelation. It is an apocalyptic book, and when we hear that word, it's typically it's a literature that speaks of the destruction of the world as we know it. Now, what that meant in this particular case is Daniel was a Jew in Babylon. He had, and now he was in captivity and in exile, if you will. He had made his way up in Nebuchadnezzar's group, right? King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. What this book is stories and visions of how Babylon is going to come to an end, hence allowing for a restoration of Israel. Now, what Daniel was seeing, and when the book is about, is that this was going to be an incredibly difficult process with pain and death. In this reading, right, this is the final vision of this final battle, this final peace that is to come, and that's the vision he has. And I read just kind of almost the intro, the beginning of that. And so you would need to read from where I left off to the end of the book. And I encourage you to do so. Look for hope in the reading. Hope in the difficulty. Hope comes from those who put their trust and their love in Yahweh. That's the foundation on which Israel will be rebuilt. And there it is for us, right? In times when we struggle, in times when we are facing difficulty, trust and love in God always is our strongest of foundation. Join me in Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. The Lord makes me lie down in green pastures and leads me beside still waters. You restore my soul, O Lord, and guide me along right pathways for your name's sake. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup is running over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.